Welcome to Denture.com. Your duplicated denture kit has arrived in the mail. First is to open and familiarize yourself with what's inside. You'll find a upper impression tray. That would be the one with the palette covered. You'll find a lower impression tray. That would be the one that's shaped like a horseshoe. Inside to go with those, you'll find duplicating putty. The duplicating putty comes with a yellow and blue. You'll need 2 yellow and blues for the top and 2 yellow and blue for the bottom. Denture duplicating technique. Have your dentures ready. Don't worry about the appearance or how old they are. That's irrelevant. Right now we're just using these to get the measurements and such things as we may need. Decide whether you're going to do your upper first or your lower. In this case we'll take the upper. Taking your bags of putty for the upper, you'll open them up. What we'll be doing is we'll be taking a blue putty and a yellow putty and we'll be kneading them together. You have 30 seconds of working time to knead these together, so you have to move fast. The idea is to get it all one color. So as we move along, it starts to change and everything blends together and gets a nice even look. After about 30 seconds, it all becomes one color. You will press it into the tray. Press the putty into the tray, filling the tray in a nice uniform manner. The next step is to take the denture for the upper, place it teeth down in the tray. Push down firmly and form the remaining putty around the edge of the denture, never allowing the material to flow inside of your denture. Just a nice even amount all the way around. Form it, so that it fits just to the top of the edge of the denture, never allowing the material to go inside of the denture. Once that is formed nicely, you'll notice it starts to become harder. Example. Uniform. The duplicating process is to put the top or the lid onto the denture. The denture remains in the upper tray. I suggest we use a releasing agent. It can be a cooking oil, a petroleum jelly, anything. You'll just take and put a light coat inside of your denture, a light coat, and a little around the edge. This is just to ensure that when we go to remove or take the top off of your denture, it releases smoothly and easily with no problems. Wipe your hands off if you use your fingers and clean them before attempting to take your putty. Next step is a repeat of the first step. Remove the blue putty, remove the yellow putty, and repeat the process. Knead the putties together. 30 seconds working time again, at the most. Idea is to get it all one uniform color. Just keep moving it around, smushing it, moving it, till it all becomes one basic uniform color. 30 seconds. As you can see, one uniform color. Tear off about half and push it into the denture, being sure that it completely submerges and gets a good identity of the interior of your denture. After that, take the remaining amount and again push it all the way down, making a nice uniform top on the denture. The idea is to get it over the edges of the existing lower half. We're just creating a lid, just like on a box. The lid fits over the edge, leaving a firm, thick amount on the top, because we will be removing the top from the bottom. If it's too thin, it will tear when we attempt to remove it. So be sure it's fairly heavy and thick on top. And it completely surrounds the edges, like this. Like this. You can see we've covered the posterior area or the back and all around the edge. It doesn't have to be perfectly even, but it should have a uniform look, such as this. Set it down and allow it to become hard. It'll be hard within 3 minutes of time. Step. 3 minutes or 5 minutes has passed. We now have our duplicate done. We will need to now remove the top. Normally, by just taking a small butter knife or a knife in the house, you can go around the edges and it should just pop right off. Remember, the reason for the thickness on top is to prevent tearing. As the denture starts to lift, you should be able to easily remove. Top, bottom. Came out very nice. The next step would be simply take the knife again under the back edge of the denture, gently release your denture and remove it. Finally, we will want to take our shade guide and select a shade that you would be comfortable with. You can use the existing shade if you'd like, or you can lighten it. In this case, the patient would like a lighter shade. So this patient has selected shade A1, second to the lightest shade available. Next step would be to, after choosing your shade, take a small piece of paper, write your name on it, and the shade that you've selected. The shade in this case was A1. Put everything back together, place it back in a Ziploc bag, and return it in a priority mail box that you can get at your local post office for free. Place your product back in the box, seal it, and return it to the address in the box. After your upper is complete, set to the side, we'll do the same exact steps for the lower. Again, blue and yellow putties. Remove the yellow putty, the blue putty, doesn't matter what one first. Start the process of kneading. Knead the putties together again, 30 seconds working time max. You'll want to get basically a uniform color once again. It's all turning from a yellow and blue into one green color at this time with this particular putty colors. Okay. Perfect. For the lower, I like to just kind of make a cigar shape. It makes it easier to apply it to the tray. Into the tray, get a good amount. Remember, you only have 3 minutes complete time, so it's important to move fast. Placing your lower denture into the tray, pushing it. Do not allow the material to go inside of the denture. If it's too high up, just push it around the sides of the tray. up to the edge of your denture. As you can see, this denture is quite old. Doesn't matter, because that's the idea, is we're making a new one. So we just kind of form a nice edge around here, push it into the center, get it up around the edges, all the way here, not allowing it to go inside of the denture. Set it down and wait. Okay. Again, the putties became hard. We're ready to put the top half on to the denture. I have available some household cooking oil, as we spoke of earlier. Vaseline, household cooking oil, it doesn't matter. It's just a release agent. So lightly coat the edges inside of the denture without puddling it. Lightly coat, and make sure you clean your fingers off before mixing the putty. Remove your putty. Again, remove your putty. Together, start the kneading process. Knead the putties together until you reach one uniform color. Time is important. You have only 30 seconds of time to kneading the putties together. Again, they should just about all become one uniform color. As you can see here, they've reached pretty much that. So again, I like to roll on the lower a little cigar shape and start to apply. I break off a little bit, I roll it, I apply it inside of the denture, pushing it all the way down as far as possible to assure that you have a good identity of the interior of the denture. Okay, next step, top half, all the way around, apply, 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 making sure that you have a nice uniform edge, leaving it thick again on the top half so that it doesn't tear when you try to separate. And ensure yourself that all of the edges are lapping over so that the lid will interlock when we go to put it back on, like on the upper. As you can see, the lid goes down and stops like a lid on a box. Putty on the top is hard. The same step as before. You'll get a kitchen knife or a butter knife and just gently go around the edge and remove the top. It should pop right off, just as this did, and there we have the perfect impression of the interior of the denture. Same process again, just gently go around the edge and remove your denture. Remember, be careful, because you don't want to break your denture, of course. You still need to use this temporarily. So you just gently try to remove your denture. It should lift from one corner or the other. If you get the knife under, forcing back to remove it, and then just remove. And there we have our finished product. Next step, the last step is to remove your dentures. Pick a shade from the shade guide that came with the kit. Selecting a shade, this particular patient wanted a lighter shade than their existing. They've chose shade A1. Take a small piece of paper, write your name on the paper and the shade A1, and return the shade guide. Place everything in a bag, Ziploc bag. Return everything in a bag, keeping your teeth. Place the paper with the shade and name in it. The post office priority mail box, they supply those for free. Simply put your product into the box, close, place the label on, and return to the address provided.